Hey there, lovely people. Welcome back to another Writing Tip Tuesday. I'm Sammi, and I'm a writer who likes to help other writers become better writers. This week I want to talk to you about something that if you are anything like me, you know and love, but you might not fully understand, which are animal sidekicks. We've seen them in everything from Disney movies to fantasy stories to even rom-coms, and they are a unique tool that doesn't really get looked into as closely as it probably could. So I'm going to try and look at it closer than most people do. Why do we use animals as sidekicks in our stories? They provide a lot of useful techniques that a lot of people characters might not necessarily be able to do. Having an animal sidekick allows you to give exposition without prescribing anything. You can have a main character talk to their animal sidekick to get the information out of them and process what they are thinking and feeling without having that animal sidekick able to speak back to them. The main character has the opportunity to bounce ideas off of them without getting told outside perspectives. They're allowed to make their own decisions and process their situation by themselves, which can lead to character development, and it can also lead to struggles that your character may go through trying to get to where they want to be. Readers can become very attached to animal sidekicks in a way that people sidekicks don't always get, but animal sidekicks, 90% of the time, your readers will have an attachment to. And they create something that a reader can empathize with in a situation, even if they don't empathize with the main character. Animal characters can also create a really unique foil opportunity for your main character that people characters have to have a little bit more depth. An animal sidekick will become a one-way foil where they're just going to be showing you personality traits of the main character and how you can start to judge the character and understand where they're coming from and what they need to grow in. But you can learn more about what a foil character does in my video that I did a little while ago on those. Animal sidekicks can also provide comedic relief. They can be the moment of reprieve when you have a lot of serious situations going on, because even the comedic relief human character may need to get down and be serious for a little bit. Your animals, they don't necessarily have to know what's going on, and they don't have to comprehend the gravity of the situation, and they can lead to breaking some of that tension so that you can have some release for a little bit. They can also be a helpful tool for foreshadowing things. I don't know if you've ever had a dog or interacted with a dog that didn't like someone for no reason, just like right off the bat, nothing happened between this person and the dog, but the dog hates the person, and then you end up finding out later that they weren't good people. You can do that in stories. It happens in real life. No one's gonna question it. You can be subtle about it though. You don't have to be like, this dog absolutely hates this person, especially if your dog can talk. Animal sidekicks also have the potential to create more conflict. They can get kidnapped, they can be difficult to work with, but the main character is nice enough that they want to take care of it, and they can be motivational. They can get your main character to do things that they might not have had they not been taking care of this animal sidekick. So how do you write a good animal sidekick? You want to start by making sure you're thinking of your animal sidekick the same way that you would be thinking of any other human character. Anyone who can speak and interact with the story, you want to think about your animal characters the same way. They need to have a personality. They need to have a goal. They need to benefit the main character in some way, and the main character needs to benefit them in some way. How do they communicate with other characters? Where if this was a speaking character, I would say like, what kind of dialogue traits do they have? Do they say like a lot? Do they swear a lot? That kind of stuff. But because it's an animal character, obviously you're not discussing language, but how do they signal to the other people around them, danger is coming, I want food, I have to pee? How do they let their people know what's going on, and why do the people know what that means coming from that animal? Why do the other characters care about the animal? Or why do they dislike the animal? Because some of your side characters may not like the animal sidekick, but they will have to deal with him and interact with that animal. So how do the other characters perceive this animal, and how does that animal react to how those people perceive them? And knowing what other characters feel internally about this animal sidekick is not entirely necessary to show in the story to give that information to the readers, but it can be very influential to how you write those scenes, and having that background may help you make those interactions more believable and more entertaining. Animal sidekicks are interesting because you can use them as a tool to tell your story while the story is going on, but they are more impactful if they have their own agency as well. If they are making choices themselves, if they have their own thing that they're going after, even if it's something as simple as they are trying to get more treats, or they are trying to find the last acorn in the Ice Age. Give them something that they're working towards, and then have that impact how they help or hurt the rest of the characters in the story. If it's possible, don't make your animal sidekick so lovable and great to have around that all readers fall in love with them and then kill them off for no reason. If you are trying to get your readers to feel something and you are trying to force that on them by killing off the animal sidekick, that's not the best way to go about it, and you can definitely find something better to do than cause artificial pain like that. If there is no motivation for why that character, person or animal, needs to die to make your story continue going, you probably don't need to kill them. Just make sure you're thinking about it. You can check out my video on character deaths to get a little bit more in depth on that. And for funsies, it may be interesting to have animal sidekicks that aren't the common dog, cat, bird, mouse, rat, because you can see that even Disney has thrown away from their normal animal sidekick structure, where you have the cute and cuddly, and then you have the sassy kind of animal sidekick. They've got different kinds, and they are stemming those personality traits into different animals that aren't necessarily the most common. Maybe you're going to use something that's in the fantasy world that you have developed. Maybe you're going to use something that is from a different region than where your characters are, some kind of tropical animal. Or maybe you'll just stick with the classic house pets because that's what fits in your story. It's not the biggest thing in the world to make sure that your animal sidekick is a different animal than anybody else's animal sidekick, but it just really matters that you are taking into account the rest of your story and how that particular animal species will help your story in the long run as you are developing an animal character. But that is all that I've got for you today. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button. Let me know in the comments what your favorite animal sidekick is from any story, movie, book, TV show, cartoon, whatever it is. Let me know. I want to know in the comments. If you don't want to miss any of my videos, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell next to it. And I will see you guys on Saturday for a Story Study Saturday. I'm here every Tuesday for Writing Tip Tuesdays and every Saturday for Story Study Saturdays. So I will see you guys back here on Saturday and then again on Tuesday.